Hello, welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of 22 Jump Street.
Be ready to jump. 21 Jump Street.
I have to admit, something about the advertisements for this film didn't completely sell it for me personally. I just didn't find them all that funny or endearing. Couple chuckles, but nothing that really made me want to rush out and see 22 Jump Street opening weekend. I did really enjoy the first film. I just wasn't all that excited to go out and see this one right away. However, it completely blew those notions out the water within the first minute of the film. I knew I was in for a fun ride. What I really enjoyed about 22 Jump Street was that it was so self-aware, and that kind of comedy to me is really endearing. It's almost like breaking down that fourth wall, speaking directly to the audience, and I thought it was really funny. They start out the film straight up telling you sequels always work best when you give them exactly what they got the first time. Stick with what you know. And that is really hammered into the head at the beginning. It almost gets a little bit overbearing, a little too heavy-handed with that message. It's like, okay, we get it, you're self-aware, you're having fun with it, but they do have fun with small quirks, and I really had fun going through those small quirks with them. So the beginning of the film jumps right off the page, so fun, right off the get-go. So I loved the beginning of the film. As the film gets going, it does fall into this kind of romance play thing. I can't really explain it, between friendships. And that's not really a spoiler because they show a lot of that in the trailers. So you should hopefully already be aware of this. But they really play off this friendship as a relationship thing. And again, they're very self-aware about that as well. And I think it comes off slightly offensive to same-sex couples in some places. I think it gets a little too deep into that relationship aspect between two men and two men. Of course, it's completely platonic in the film, but I think they walk a very thin line on how they portray those relationships throughout the entire film. But once again, they're very self-aware. They have Channing Tatum, getting this revelation about homophobic slurs in the film and, fighting for that. So I think, again, they're very aware of where their comedy lies, but I think sometimes being aware isn't quite enough to save some of the material. And I think that's where it went. It was too heavy-handed in that relationship aspect, and it was a little overdrop by the end. You were kind of like, okay, we could do a little bit less of this and more just kind of lighthearted fun. But overall, I think this film was funnier than 21 Jump Street, and I think I might have enjoyed it more. It is more fun. It is more vibrant. And guess what? They tell you right from the get-go, you are getting a formulaic film. It doesn't break any new ground. There's no new revelations of college life shown or anything like that. You are getting a funny action film. And I think that's what most people who are coming to 22 Jump Street want, and that's what you are delivered. It is very funny. It delivers on the laughs, and I think it's just an overall great time. Our stars performed really well. Channing Tatum, I think, may have oversold his persona just a tad bit at parts, and I think part of that goes with that heavy-handedness of the relationship aspect, but he oversold his part just a little bit sometimes. But overall, he plays that character very well. Jonah Hill, wonderful in his role, and Ice Cube was really funny. He gets some fun stuff to work with in this film. Another twist in the plot that makes his part come alive a little bit. So our main stars really delivered, but honestly, this is Jillian Bell's breakout film. She stole the show for me. Every time she was on camera, I laughed so hard. I thought she was I anticipated her scenes. I wanted her back on the screen. I just thought she was so hilarious, so endearing, some deadpan humor that I absolutely loved. Jillian Bell steals the show for me. She's the roommate, if you are a little confused when you're watching, like, who's this amazing Jillian Bell? That's who she is. You'll know because you'll be thinking, wow, this woman is hilarious. One other negative aspect to the film, I think it did fall into some of those action movie unbelievable moments. It's just like, really? There's one part of the film where they're running down a narrow space, and literally the guy is just shooting down this very narrow, there's nowhere to like move, ditch, dodge, nothing. They're just running straight ahead. The person is shooting at them, but yet, did they get shot ever? No. It's like, really? Are our bad guys really that terrible of a shot? You're gonna send these guys on a mission who can't even shoot that big target known as Channing Tatum right in front of their face? So those kind of things were, typically unrealistic. Some of the athletics, I was like, this body double is great, because some of the things that they do in that film are fantastic. Also a little bit of play on other films in there, Spider-Man, but I think it's really, really fun. Overall, just super fun. Also, a couple of the cameos in here that I wasn't aware of. I don't know if you were aware of them. I guess, I don't know if I was just out of the loop. I try to avoid spoilers as much as possible, so I'm not going to spoil who these cameos are or where they come in, but there are 2 cameos that I really enjoyed. One particularly was so well done. And I will say, the end sequence where they start the credits rolling was so fun. So make sure, stay through it. They start it right after the film, so they don't really give you a chance to say, oh, I want to get up and leave. The end sequence is really fun, and it's nice to watch. So stay for that sequence. So, overall, I highly, highly, highly recommend 22 Jump Street. I think it's hilarious. If you are a fan of the first one, you will love this one. If you're a fan of the TV show back in the day, you will love this movie as well. And if you're just looking for a good laugh this weekend, a good time, 22 Jump Street is definitely the film for you. So don't forget, if you want to continue to be up to date on all the videos we upload here on the channel, subscribe down below. Make sure you're up to date on all of that new content. But I love you so much for watching this video and all my other videos. And I can't wait to see you on my next video. Bye.